Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Afistry Media. Don't forget to hit the notification bar and subscribe and follow us up for premium content. So today we'll be talking about the execution and trials of Dimka. Lieutenant Colonel Buka Suka Dimka, 1940 to 15th May 1976, was a Nigerian army officer who played a leading role in the 13th February 1976 abortive military coup against the government of General Murtala Ramat Mohammed. Dimka also participated in the Nigerian counter-coup of 1966, which toppled the government of General Aguiyi. Buka Suka Dimka was commissioned as a second lieutenant from the Australian Army Officer Cadet School, POTC, into the Nigerian Army on 13th December 1963. Him and another officer, Lieutenant Boniface Ikejofor, were the first two Nigerian Army officers to train in Australia and successfully complete the 12-month course at the school with cadets from Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, the Philippines, and the Pacific Islands. Dimka, then a lieutenant with the Nigerian Military Training College in Kaduna, was one of the many officers of northern Nigerian origin, including Lieutenant Colonel Murtala Mohammed, coup leader whom Dimka conspired against and murdered 10 years later, Second Lieutenant Sani Abacha, Lieutenant Muhammad Buhari, Lieutenant Ibrahim Bako, Lieutenant Ibrahim Babangida, and Major Theophilus Danjuma. Staged what became known as the Nigerian counter-coup of 1966 because of grievances they felt towards the administration of General Aguiyi-Ironsi's government, which quelled the 15th January 1966 coup. Lieutenant Buka Dimka of the Nigerian Physical Army Training Corps had the agenda of killing the then head of state, General Murtala Mohammed. He achieved this by gunning down the Kano-born head of state a few minutes after he left the Dodan barracks in Obalende, that was the official seat of the federal military government at that time. General Murtala Mohammed was finally killed in his car after he was shot at around the place now known as Murtala Mohammed Drive opposite the Federal Secretariat, Ikoyi. He was killed along with his driver and Admiral Deputy. After the assassination, Dimka made a broadcast at the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation (NBC) studio. He declared the overthrow of Mohammed's government by young revolutionaries and warned that any attempt to foil this plan would be met with death. 2 days later, after Mohammed's assassination, Dimka was declared wanted for treason and murder by military authorities. He was eventually caught at a checkpoint at Abakaliki on March 5, 1976, and brought to Lagos the following day. On March 6, 1976, the federal government promptly issued a statement on his arrest, stating that his arrest followed was a massive manhunt operation mounted by a combined team of the army and the police in the area. They were able to close up on Dimka because he checked into a local hotel in Afipo under the name of Mr. C. Godwin of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Enugu. A girl was also secured for him to spend the night with. A few hours later, after the police were alerted of his whereabouts, they closed up on him. He escaped through the window, leaving all his belongings, but was later found and brought for interrogation to Lagos by the Military Board of Inquiry led by Major General E.O. Abisoye. While his interrogation was ongoing, 32 people who had already been tried for their roles in the attempted coup were executed in Lagos on March 11, 1976. The only civilian executed among them was Abdul Karim Zakari, a graduate of the University of Ibadan who was said to have led Dimka into the studios of NBC on February 13, 1976. The broadcaster was also cited as the man who signed for marital music records from the NBC library the previous night. The tape recording of his appearance was played before the board, and he confirmed that it was his voice and emphasized that the statements were not made under duress. Part of Dimka's confession statement highlights that the beginning of the cube's ideation process started around 1976 January. He had discussions with some persons, including former head of state Yakubu Gowon, and assigned responsibilities to members of the Young Revolutionaries. Gowon, in exile at the time, denied any prior knowledge of the coup attempt. He further confessed that General Bisala complained to him and expressed further frustration that despite being a member of the Supreme Military Council (SMC), each time there was a discussion or a decision to be taken, he was either sent to one place or the other. He expressed his support for their plans. Responsibilities were shared. A Major Rambo distributed them. Rambo would eliminate Target 1 head of state, Lieutenant Dauda was for Target 2, Lieutenant General Obasanjo and Lieutenant Garba was for Target 3, Lieutenant General Danjuma. The main center of operations were Kaduna, Benin, and Ibadan, where there are radio stations. Other targets of attack were Colonel Babangida, Colonel Bajowa, Colonel Mohammed of Sokoto, Colonel Ibrahim Taiwo of Kwara, Colonel Abdullahi of Jos, Colonel Jemi Bewan of Ibadan. He also gave an account on how he killed the head of state. His entourage was monitored and tracked down around a petrol station. Multiple shots were fired at his car, and that was the end. The military council found his guilt of treason, and his death sentence was confirmed. Dimka and 7 others were executed by firing squad at Kirikiri prison on 15th May 1976 for their part of the abortive coup. And that'll be all for today. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bar. Have a lovely day, and thank you. Bye guys.